All right, let's take a look at some charts. Matt, can you go ahead and pull us up? Let's go to the Brokers Express account. Okay, and let's click on chart over here, and then we'll just let's first pull up the chart of the Dow Jones, DJI. And I'm going to use the charts in here. I think these are also profit charts also. Either profit charts sold them part of their product here, but you'll find out if they're, this is from Options Express, which is a brokerage account using Brokers Express. But I think they're the same profit charts, just kind of scaled down version to them. If not, then they copied profit charts because Tim's product was such a hot product. All right, so let's type in DJI. Here's a 9-month chart. On the chart we're looking here, 9-month chart. And can you take it, let's take it right here. First thing we do when we pull up a chart, before I get into any kind of a trade, I want to look at the overall markets and the volatility indexes. So I'll take a look at the chart of the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500, and then the volatility indexes. And then from there, I'll decide, am I bullish, bearish, or neutral? From that, I can start looking for some trades. So first thing I want you to do, here's a chart of the Dow. This is a 9-month chart. 9-month chart of the Dow. And just taking a look across the 9-month chart of the Dow here, would you say you're bullish, bearish, or neutral? Okay. Bullish?
Maybe neutral.
Maybe neutral? There's no wrong answer here. And the reason there's no wrong answer is because based on your answer will be how you define your next trade. If you're bullish, then you're bullish a little bit, you're looking from this trend here, correct? So if you're bullish, are you looking for a 2-day trade? No. So based on whatever your answer is, what's going to be the type of trade you're going to look at here. If you're neutral, then you're probably going back 9 months ago and saying you're where? Same area there. I'm neutral. Well, then probably the trade you get into will be a little bit more of a longer-term trade, right? So based on whatever your answer, there's no wrong or right answer. Based on your answer, will tell you kind of what you're looking for your next dollar trade. So if you say you're neutral, don't look for a 3 or 4-day trade. That's not what you're after. Now we've taken the wrong type of trade for your strategies here. Okay, let's go. Matt, can you just click right down through here and just show me this time frame here only? Thank you. All right, so now if I'm taking a look at this, it looks like my trend's going which way? Up. This is a moving average. Am I above the moving average?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, these are my MACDs down here towards the bottom. What are your MACDs telling you?
Starting to roll.
Yep.
Kind of going down.
Yep.
All right. Now MACDs, acronym, moving average, convergence, divergence. It's just 2 moving averages. One's shorter term, one's longer term. When the shorter term one crosses below the longer term ones, you're bearish. When it goes above it, you're bullish. The histograms, these little lines right here in the middle, the histograms down here is just the difference. Thank you. It's just the difference between the 2 lines. So here you got a big difference between 2 lines, you got a big histogram. That's just all it is, the difference. If it looks to me, if I'm looking at this one right now, it looks like my histograms, can you give me just like the last month or so on here, Matt? It looks to me like my histograms are starting to go which way right now? So, okay, and my lines which were much farther apart are getting where right now? And they're above the 0 line, which means they're overbought. Okay, so now if I'm looking at just this chart, bullish, bearish, or neutral?
Bearish.
Oh, so now based on the type of chart you're looking at, we define what type of trade we're in. So if I'm bullish, I should be, if we look at the previous chart and I'm bullish, I should be looking for a longer term trade. If I say that right now, my MACDs are overbought, my histograms are dropping. Short term, I'm a little bearish. So should I be looking for a 6-month bearish trade? No, because 6 months I'm on an uptrend. I got a nice bullish trade. But if I'm looking for a bearish trade, let's say next week or 2, maybe 2 or 3 weeks or so, that might be okay. But if that's the case, if I'm looking for a bearish trade over just the next couple of weeks, I'd better make sure, if I'm looking at a bearish trade, I build into the trade the ability to make that trade bullish if I'm wrong, because the overall trend is still bullish. Does that make sense? The market's in an uptrend. I should be trading bullish. But you don't really want to trade bullish now that we're at the ceiling, right? If you're here at the ceiling, well, how are you going to go? You probably pull back a little bit. Say you just jump, I'm going to hit the ceiling. I won't break it too much here, Matt. I don't know how much your rent is, but I won't break it too much. But you hit the ceiling, and now you pull back. Say, well, there's a ceiling there. Okay, well, I guess if I want to go through the ceiling, I'm going to have to pull back, crouch, and jump even harder next time, yes? So right now, you just hit the ceiling. You just hit it. Now you're going to pull back. We're going to pull back a little bit, think about it, and then we're going to turn back up and rally up through it. We're going an uptrend. So until we start making consecutive lower highs and lower lows, now we're going into a downtrend. So if I've got a high, and then we hit the high, and it drops, and we hit a lower high, and it drops, and we hit a lower high, we're making consecutive lower highs. What's that new trend? That's down. Right now we're making higher highs and higher lows. We're in an uptrend. So even though we're in an uptrend, I don't want to buy right now because we're at a high right now. How are we at a high? Well, we've already bounced. We've already bounced. These are high and dropping. If I had to guess, my next trend is down. So if I'm going to look for a bearish trade, it better be short term, and I better get out of it as soon as I have a profit, because longer term it's going to do what? Come right back up. And how about this? If I build into my trade, which we're going to look for a bearish trade here. If I'm going to build into a bearish trade, and if I'm wrong and it turns back up, I better pick a stock or a trade that has the ability to go bullish if necessary. And here's where it's going to become important about where you're leaving education, becoming a trader, because I want the right strike prices. Because if I can't become bullish without the right strike price, I might not make my profit. As an example, I find a stock at $38 a share. 38. It's going up. It's going up. $38 a share. It's starting to pull back a little bit. So you go with a bearish trade. Now remember, you're going against the overall trend here. So it better be short term because you're going against the overall trend, but the short term trend is down. What happens if it doesn't go all the way down to where you're profitable before it goes back up again? Oh, I hate that. That's going to happen. It'll happen, by the way. Almost every time. Right? It'll start to go back up. And what if it goes back up through that ceiling right now? So you reverse the trade, which we're going to talk about, reversing the trade. But when you reverse a trade, you're now going to go up to the $45 strike zone, and the stock you're looking at has really, really hard resistance at 43, which means you'll never even make it to 45. You can't reverse that trade to make a profit. So what do you do with that stock? Not that trade. Correct? That's what I'm talking about, making sure you have the ability to reverse it. And it'll make some sense when we look at some live trades here. Okay, so right off the bat, uptrend, look at the Dow. Dow, we're in an uptrend, yes? But a little bit overbought, correct? Okay, good. Can we pull up a chart, Matt, please, at, let's use the NASDAQ, COMP. COMP. What's your trend? There's some highs, higher high, higher high, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. There's a low, there's a low, there's a low. What's the trend? Uptrend. Starting to do what right now for the last, Matt, will you just give me like the last couple months on here, please? Can you
Consolidating.
give me this?
Sideways.
I'm sorry, I could probably do that with a mouse, couldn't I? I could do that with a mouse, couldn't I?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now we're looking at the highs right in through here. What are your MACDs doing? So it looks like the NASDAQ is hitting this 2,000 level. By the way, 2,000 a nice round psychological area that people would buy or sell at. When people think about buying or selling, where do they usually put their buy and sell orders at? I'd like to sell us at 2,111.15. Is that where people put their buy and sell orders? They put them at whole numbers. 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 for the last 7, 8 trading days. Looks to me like that's acting as a what? And my MACDs are crossing, just starting to cross, and the histograms are down at 0 right now. So it looks like it's getting weaker. Long term I'm bullish, short term I'm okay, so I'm a little bearish. So down in the NASDAQ look a little bearish. Let's go ahead and type in the ticker symbol. Just look at the VIX, for the Volatility Index, VIX. Let me see, what is that saying? When it's high, it's time to buy. When it's low, look out below. Volatility, you guys are looking at the flex stairs, most of you.